let's go ahead and talk about the problem of the day. Be sure to answer the questions I ask out loud and think about how your work is the same or different from what we talk about together. So we know for line plots, we need to start with a number line. If we're going to put these mixed numbers on a number line, what do we need to do first with some of them? Say it out loud. Yeah, I bet a lot of you noticed that not all these fractions have the same denominator, and it would be easier to put them on the number line if they did. So let's rename some of our fractions so that all of them have the same denominator. What is a common denominator that we could give for each of these fractions? Say it out loud. Right, we can make all of them into fourths, because right now we have fourths and halves, and we know that 4 is a multiple of 2. So we can multiply each half times 2 over 2, and that will give us 2 fourths. Okay, so how would I rewrite 2 and a half? Say it out loud. Right. That's going to become 2 and 2 fourths. What about this one? Same thing, right? 2 and 2 fourths. And here, say it out loud. Yeah. 1 and 2 fourths. Okay, great. Now, all of my fractions have the same denominator. When we're plotting fractions on a number line, the first thing we have to think is, read it with me, do I need to create equivalent fractions? All right, great. So, what whole numbers should we use to create the range on our number line? The range is the largest and the smallest whole number that we need to have on the line. What range would make sense for this data set? Say it out loud. Right. We're going to want to go from 0 to 3. Why do 0 and 3 make sense? Say it out loud. Yeah, 0 is the whole number that is less than our smallest fraction. And 3 is the whole number that is more than our greatest mixed number or fraction. If we use 0 and 3, we know that all the numbers in the data set are going to fit somewhere on the number line. So when we're identifying our range, we need to think, read it with me, what whole number comes before my smallest fraction and after my largest fraction? Okay, so let's go ahead and make our number line. I'm going to start with the whole numbers. We got 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, what do I need to do on this number line? Say it out loud. Yes, I need to partition each of my wholes into fourths, since that's the fraction that I'm working with. Great. Now we can go ahead and actually add our data. To add data to a line plot, we put it at X above the number line for each data point that is at that measurement. So here's my first data point. Where do I put that first X? Say it out loud. Our first data point is 2.5. So I'm going to put that X right here over 2 2/4 because we know that 2.5 is equivalent to 2 2/4. Okay, let's continue to add our data points to our line plot. 2 2/4, that's done. 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 1 2/4, 2 3/4. Wait a minute, 2 1/4. I've already got an X over 2 1/4. So what should I do now? Say it out loud. Right, I just put that second X right on top of the first. When we have more than one data point for a measurement, like we do for 2 1/4, we just stack it right on top. This shows me now that 2 people ran 2 1/4 miles. We can see that right in our table. Both Bobby and Saisha were at 2 1/4, so it makes sense we'd have 2 X's there. Okay, let's finish up our chart, or our line plot. So 2 2/4, 1/4, 2/4, and then this 2.5 is again 2 2/4. Perfect. The last thing we need for our line plot is a title. When we write the title, we also put our units in parentheses. So what would be a good title for this line plot? Say it out loud. Sure, we could call it Distance Ran. And our units, what were those? Say it out loud. Yes, we are in miles here. Okay, great. So the whole point of creating a line plot is to display measurement data so that you can interpret it or begin to find patterns and observations. And we're going to do that with our Try One More questions today.